that 87, was it 87 or 85 in exchange for a potential 325. That's almost 4 to 1, if not 4 to 1. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are well. I'm glad to be back and back on the chart. So I want to take a look at GBPAUD this morning. I am going to start off on the monthly time frame. For those of you guys who are new, I'm going to move through a multiple time frame analysis to determine what my move in the market will be, if there is any. And I will walk you through the process by which I do this. And so I'm starting off on the monthly time frame, and I'm going in, I'm identifying my swing highs and my swing lows. Those are important to me because they tell me the highest probability area where price has the potential to change directions. And so if you don't know what swing high, swing low is, definitely encourage you to go through the no cost mini course. So you can learn not only that, but a few other things. And once I do that for that time frame, I go down to my next level. So my next level is a weekly time frame. And so I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did before. This time though, I'm gonna change my color so that I can easily and quickly recognize when I pull these up on the go where I am. So I am looking for this, and I got a low here, and that is all that I see right now. I'm gonna go down to the daily because I've done the weekly, and I'm looking for levels within the daily. For those of you guys who are unfamiliar, going down to different time frames shows me the fractals, right? So on the daily, each candle represents a full day's worth of price action. So we're going down to different time frames to get a little bit more granular about what's actually happening as far as price is concerned. And so on the daily, I do want to double check my levels. So it looks like I missed one here. Let me move that up. Ooh. Okay, we got this one. I'm going to adjust it. And we got these two, but I'm going to fix them, line them up just a little bit better. And then I got this one. That's a monthly. So we're good. I'm going to turn this off. If you're curious about the platform, it is smarttrader.com. You can check it out there. So I'm going to do my 4 hour. And now after I finish identifying these levels, I am going to go back, and then we're going to look at direction. And we do that with the Fibonacci retracement and extension tool. But this is all a part of the process. This is how I approach every single chart that I mark up, and the system that I use. So I am going to, this is not a level. This is not a level either. I'm just trying to find, make sure I haven't missed anything. So I'm gonna put it here. I got one here, and I've got one here. And then I've got one here. I don't even think the system goes down this far though. Let's see. I'm gonna turn on smart support, and it did not. I'll leave those though. But it did pick up the levels that we identified. In fact, it looks like I missed one right here, but it picked up our weekly, it picked up our daily and weekly, and then it picked up our 4 hour. So I'm gonna turn this off. And now that I've gone to the 4 hour, the 4 hour is usually the lowest that I go to mark support and resistance. And analyzing though, I may go lower than that, especially to find like an entry or something. So now that we've identified support and resistance, I'm going to go back, and I am going to break out my favorite tool, which is the Fibonacci tool. And the most recent price action that we have goes from low to high. So I'm going to pull out the smart fib. I'm going to click below the last low. And based on what we have going on right now on the monthly time frame, our anticipated target is at 216668. So I'm gonna mark this off. I'm going to double click it. I'm going to say this is my monthly D extension. If you don't know why I'm calling it a D extension, you absolutely need to go to the no cost mini course. Okay. It'll make sense to you then. All right. So I'm going to leave this like this, right? I'm going to link all of my charts so that they show pretty much the same structure. So this I'm leaving as monthly because I want to understand direction. I want to see how price is moving on the higher time frame. Granted, this would have to stay up a little while for me to make sure that that's what's happened, but I still need to see it and I still need to have it as a frame of reference. So now, and I thought I linked everything. I guess I didn't. Now I am going to, or maybe I did and it's just lower. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it is. So now I'm going to go to the weekly because I've already done the monthly, right? And let me get rid of this fib. It duplicated everything. So I'm going to clear the screen. I don't want to have two sets of everything. I'm going to link all. And then we pulled out the weekly. D extension remains the same. So this is weekly and monthly D extension. So I'm going to change the commentary to match that. Weekly and monthly D extension. Yeah, so our target essentially is the same. I will throw, and I should have put this on the higher time frame. I'll make sure that I do. But I want to throw just a trend line on there to see if we end up changing overall direction. So I'm going to click on the last. Okay, so my trend line is good, and I'll leave it there. All right. So I'm going to go down to my next chart. I'm going to turn this to the daily. And I have so many charts so that I can understand like what is actually happening. And I'm going to get rid of this. All right. So on the daily, I will start again at the bottom, right? So I place my fibs starting at the extreme high or the extreme low so I can see where I am. Excuse me. And we just got rid of this. So we understand on this time frame, we're looking at an A low, a B high. We had a 38.2 pullback and price is starting to move in the overall direction that we looked at 2114 and 2116, right? But we do have a key level in between there at 2085 and some change. So now this tells me overall what's happening, but in order for me to figure out how I can take advantage of what the market has to offer, I have to figure out how to get into this leg right here, right? So I am going to click below the last low and see what I'm getting. Now, looking at this on the daily, the larger play that I see potential for, notice I did not say was going to happen, potential for is a move to the upside and then maybe even some type of retracement, but we're not there yet. So that's long term, right? Because this is the daily chart. So I am going to drill down. Now that I understand this, I'm going to drill down lower. So I'm going to go to the 4 and I'm going to click below the last low. And so on the 4, on this leg, we've hit a D extension, right? How do I know that? Because this Fibonacci sequence is not lit up. It's clear. And so the D extension was 205,336 and our high was 205,403. And I see that right here, 205,403. So the sequence has finished, okay? So now what's going to happen is a new fib will form. We're waiting on a swing high on this time frame. If we get another candle that opens on Sunday and it stays lower than the highest candle, we should get this fib that forms, right? So I'm going to delete this if I can get it off. And we should get this fib that forms. Now I'm going to make this visible only on the higher time frame. If I can, let's see, time frames. So we don't want it on the lower. I only want it on the higher. So it'll stay there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going down to the 15. And what I want to see on the 15 is when this is going to stop. So I'm going to click above the last high. We have an A high, a B low. We have the high at 205,219. The 786 pullback is 205,226. I'm going to check this other candle just to make sure. 219, 212. So this is a 618 pullback, right? Because it didn't hit the blue level. So I'm interested in price traveling to this zone here. Uh-oh, if I can get my line. I'm interested in price traveling to this zone here. And then looking for, as a retracement, right? Looking for potential buy opportunities. Now, I do want to see on the higher time frame where this works out to be at. And that is a 38.2. If we do get this action, then my D extension is going to be at 207.35. Now, what I will do too is I'm going to put on my trend line, because if we cross this trend line to the downside, this trade is invalid, right? It's no longer valid. Let me fix this because I got too aggressive with it. It's no longer valid. So I want to see what's going to happen here. Let me adjust this too. Hold on. All right. Now I'm going to double check, make sure I drew this right. I had it right the first time. That's fine. Okay. So this will put us at a 38.2. I need to make this bigger. That was on the 15. So that would put us at a 38.2 pullback level. Now, I'd be interested in this. But let's see. I'm looking at how I would place my stop loss. Normally, I like trades that are at 50% or deeper. And this stop loss is kind of big at 125. So I'm going to drill down to the hour. And because I'm drilling down to a lower time frame, I understand that there may be risk in the fact that I could be stopped out, right? But what I'm looking at is I'm looking at where to, or trying to find where to place my stop loss. So I'm going here and I'm going to the last swing low. I'm going to turn this to red. Unfortunately, Smart Trader does not have the short and long tool. So that would be my planned stop. Now that should be, let's see. That's a big stop loss. 85 pips. That's still a big stop loss. But I just don't see, like, following the rules, I just don't see another way to do this. So you'll have to take a small position. That's how we should be trading anyway, right? So, and I'm gonna put this here. And I am going to make this green, map it out to be green. Okay. So, but when you look at the risk to reward potential, you have that 87, was it 87 or 85 in exchange for a potential 325? That's almost 4-to-1, if not 4-to-1. So risk to reward, it makes sense. It's just, can your account handle a stop loss that large? If you want to go in and try to figure out a tighter stop loss, you can do that. But based on how we trade, that's the correct positioning for that. So my key level here for entry is going to be at 20. Hold on, I'm trying to highlight over this. But 2040 and some change. Take profit would be at 2073 and some change. That's my thought on GBPAUD. I think there's still significant room to the upside. And looking at the higher time frame, just re-summarizing what we looked at, I think I'm bullish on GBPAUD until 21674 long term. But for the right now, I think there's still some more room to the downside on this fib level. And then I'd be looking for a potential entry here. Now, setting this up, like if you're manually entering, setting this up, you would have to go down to the lower time frame for the potential buy. And I would just put my array or trend line and wait for the bullish break and backside retest and the move to the upside. So those are my thoughts on GBP AUD. I was about getting ready to say GBP USD. GBP AUD. Those are my thoughts on GBP AUD. I think there's still room to the upside on this pair. And we are approaching a monthly resistance level, and then I will reevaluate from there. But I'm curious what you guys think. If you leave your comments below, let me know. How are you playing this pair and how are you trading it? So I will see you guys on the next video. I hope that you have a phenomenal trading week, and consider subscribing to the page if you're trying to learn how to analyze and mark your charts. Thanks. Bye.